So, as you know, Elon Musk wants to fire you, take your money, and profit. That's the subject of today's video. And according to Musk, this is what he's tweeting out right now. FAFO, we're in the F section, which I guess is find out. He says, you are here. And let's find out some things together. Take a look at this video when Elon Musk is talking about taking government money.
Tesla Motors was recently awarded $465 million in a loan from the federal government. And I believe SpaceX seeks money from the federal government as well. Doesn't this contradict your libertarian views?
And no, I don't think it does contradict those views because we're just living in very unusual times. We're living in times where capital availability is extremely difficult, and even the private markets are somewhat weak right now. I mean, this is the worst financial period since the Great Depression. So I think special times call for special circumstances, and I think in this time, particularly when you're dealing with something that requires an enormous amount of capital to get done, which is to build a car company, I think it does make sense to accept a loan from the Department of Energy.
So that was Musk talking about getting some help from the government, and in fact, the Washington Post did an update. Musk's business empire is built on $38 billion in government funding. And frankly, this guy gets a whole bunch of your tax dollars. I'll show you guys the chart here. You can see SpaceX, Tesla, the numbers have kept increasing. And under Trump, he wants to keep making more money off of your tax dollars. I'm pointing this stuff out because obviously Elon Musk is the biggest hypocrite of all time. And when he folds, which I think he will, this will be the biggest crash of all time. So essentially what he's trying to do, though, is save himself with the government. This is a chart that shows Tesla with or without their regulatory credits, right? And you can actually see the multiple departments that they get money from. This is from the New York Times. It's quite extensive, right? Various contracts from various agencies. And then he's also got plenty of conflicts of interest. So it is all over the map. And I'm laughing because there's any number of things you can hit this guy on. So he finds his way to weasel out of things, but I feel like as he gains more and more attention and people realize and really dig into who this guy is, you'll be like, oh my God, this is insane. On top of that, it does appear in popular culture, the stuff like the Muskie and Trumpy things. For example, my wife and I recently saw Mickey 17. It opened up here early in Korea. It's a movie. I think it opens up in the USA next week. It's pretty good. And it's directed by Bong Joon-ho based on a novel. And they kind of hit on Trump and Musk themes. I'll leave it at that. But the basic gist of it is that they think you, the workers, are expendable. And frankly, if you try to call them out on that, they get really, really mad. So that's why Musk and Trump are looking to fire everyone and then also fire any regulators that are protecting you from getting fired. However, there is some pushback. So for example, take this. Trump's firing of whistleblower agency head ruled unlawful. Right, so they're trying to, again, get rid of anyone that stands in their way. But the courts are fighting back, right? They can't just, dismiss anyone. And basically, Congress, put and created some positions that are supposed to be insulated. I think that's their language from these kind of actions. So essentially, our system of checks and balances is supposed to stop people like Trump and Musk. And let's hopefully that it continues to play out. But I want you to understand when Musk is constantly tweeting about, how much he hates workers, these kind of things, is that basically him and his whole clan think that your jobs are BS and that you do BS things. Having to listen to a recent interview with him and Joe Rogan.
Well, the people receiving the money want to keep receiving the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
Yes. So, but, I mean, the reason I'm putting so much effort into this is that I think it is a very dire situation. It's not it's not optional, basically. So, America's going bankrupt, so that just can't happen.
It's just bizarre to me that some people aren't willing to look at it correctly. They're not willing to see how much chaos this is, how much waste and fraud there is, how much much can be trimmed, and how much. Just because people have jobs doing doesn't mean your tax dollar should pay for this.
Yes.
So that was him and Musk, or Musk and Rogan, however you want to say this, saying that your jobs are a bunch of BS, basically, and let's just get rid of all these people. In fact, Musk may or may not be in charge of the military now. This is the letter that was alluded to in the last video, which I talked about before, where Musk was tweeting out, hey, you know, we think that Hegseth is going to come to our side and try to get everyone to answer the 5 things email. This is the letter that went out. I saw it a couple places on social media. I'll read it through with you guys again. This is from the Department of Defense, and basically they want you to reply to the email. So let's see what it says here. It says, subject or memorandum for all Department of Defense civilian employees, okay? Subject, guidance for Department of Defense civilian employees on responding to email to the Office of Personnel Management. What did you do last week? Email. It says, following review of the Pentagon procedures and consultation with the Office of Personnel Management, I am issuing updated guidance, so new things to do. On or around February 22nd, 2025, OPM requested federal civilians to submit approximately 5 bullet points detailing their prior week's accomplishments. The Department of Defense initially paused this directive over the weekend, right? So don't answer. But now they're changing their course. This is where I'm saying maybe Musk is in charge of the military now, for all we know. But now requires all DoD civilian employees to submit 5 bullet points on their previous week's achievements. You will receive an email on Monday, March 3rd, 2025. Reply to that email and CC your supervisor within 48 hours. So this is dated February 25th, February 27th, 2025. If either of you have gotten this email message, you can let us know. Also says submissions must exclude classified or sensitive information and will be incorporated into weekly situation reports by supervisors. Non-compliance may lead to further review. So it's a bit vague there. So if you don't answer, they're going to look at you again, I guess. I mean, it's hard to say what that means. Musk before was threatening to fire all of you, but I mean, again, this is how they think of you. That's why I'm showing you all this stuff. You can also remember Musk's the guy who takes money from the government. Employees currently without email access due to leave, shift work, temporary duty, or other valid reasons must comply within 40 hours of regaining access. Managers of those who do not regularly work in the office settings with access to email, like a warehouse or say shipyards, should address directly with their employees. The civilian workforce remains vital to the department's mission, and your critical contribution and support are renewed focus on DOG's core warfighting objectives under President Trump's leadership. And it's signed PB, I guess that's in YH or H, and then also SD 29, which I think is Security Defense 29, or Secretary of Defense, I should say, 29. They're also dismantling one of Obama's, it is one of Obama's agencies. It says Technology Office 18F. So a bunch of people just lost their jobs over the weekend. This is the stuff that they do on the weekends. They're busy. They're busy trashing your life. I don't know what to say. I mean, I was going to say they're busy working, but not really. I mean, they sit around and do whatever substances and just like, hey, what if we just dismantle this and dismantle that? I mean, that's what it feels like. This is Musk. They're talking about leaving NATO. I mean, how much crazier can this stuff get? We've heard them talk about this stuff before, but they're doing it again. Elon Musk, I agree. And this is the Gunther Eagleman. That's one of the accounts he interacts with. It's time to leave NATO and the UN, and is referring to Senator Mike Lee. That's the senator from Utah. Senator Mike Lee also hates Social Security. So these are the crowds that these people hang out with. And I want you to hear Musk and Rogan talk some more and get a sense of what they talk about in terms of money.
The weird one is the pump and dumps. Like people
happen all the time.
All the time. Yeah. And people get shocked that somebody pump and dumped. Like, what are you doing? Did you like? I was hoping to dump. I was hoping to make all the money out of this. I can't believe they got me. Like,
yeah,
it's just weird that it's legal still.
I mean, casinos are legal.
Yeah,
and
it is
people
like
just lose money at casinos.
Yeah, but you can't rig a casino like a pump and dump. You could rig a pump and dump.
Yeah, I guess so.
Pump them up and sell them.
A casino or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's totally gambling.
And people just do whatever the greater fool theory and musical chairs, and whoever's like the last to sit down loses type of thing.
Like you could run a real pyramid scheme.
Well, I mean, the government's one big pyramid scheme, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, you can tell me better than anybody.
Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time.
So ironically, and this goes back to sort of understanding who these people are. Remember, they think your jobs are BS. They think you do BS things. They're complaining about pump and dumps and Ponzi's. He thinks the government and Social Security is a Ponzi. And what's so ironic about these people is like they're like, oh well, shouldn't this stuff be illegal? Shouldn't these scam coins be illegal? And they're like, well, we have casinos, and it's like if you put this stuff together, and if these people listen to themselves speak, I mean, they're hanging out with Trump, who's a casino owner, right? It's basically scams. You lose money with Trump. Rogan acts like you can't fix the casino, which is a bit weird. I mean, I think you all just inherently kind of know the house always wins. I mean, couldn't they fix the roulette machine, the slot machines, poker, right? Any number of things. I think if you win too much, they may sort of give you the boot, that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a number of ways that they can do this stuff. I personally don't trust casinos, but that's just me. Like I say, the house always wins, and and what's interesting about Musk is he acknowledges that there are people out there who are frankly shysters or scammers, and he's one of them. That being Musk. So, for example, before he's telling you that their Tesla company is going to be 30 trillion market cap, which is frankly insane. Today he's tweeting out, "Oh my God, we're going to go up 1,000%." This is actually he's tweeting out today. He says it will require outstanding execution, but I think like 1,000% gain for Tesla in 5 years is possible. Now, usually CEOs don't do this kind of stuff. You get in trouble with the SEC. But basically, I guess if you control the government, you can just make whatever nonsense and do whatever pump and dumps you want. So it's really, crazy or rich, hypocritical, every word we want to say it, when Musk complains about, you, the worker, doing frivolous things or BS jobs, right? That kind of stuff. That's what they're complaining about. Yeah, he takes tons of money from the government, wants to go to Mars, blow up rockets over your head, right? That kind of stuff. And then he just like literally is pumping up Tesla stock here saying, oh yeah, 1,000% gain. And the kind of person that he's retweeting, right, is like this person. And this person made like a TikTok-y kind of video, like kind of dancing up and down, talking about how awesome Tesla stock is. It's so stupid. I just have to show you guys this who they are and recognize, man, these people are doing all sorts of shady tactics, right? They do pull the stuff on weekends. They act like, dorm room conversations nonstop. And then they send out these emails at wild times. This is like who's in charge. And honestly, like I keep telling you guys this stuff over and over again. It just feels like they're directly attacking the USA, and like they're not even hiding anymore. Especially when you say stuff like, "Hey, let's leave NATO. Let's pull out all of our intelligence agency. Let's reduce our counterintelligence." That's the kind of stuff that they're up to. They want to make tax cuts permanent. I guess that's the basic gist of this article here. It says the GOP wants $4 trillion tax cut to look like nothing, but they essentially just want to give lots of tax cuts for the wealthy, cut all the services you need, and just basically tear our society apart. If you listen to the Rogan and Musk stuff, the way that they talk is like, what's the word to say it? They talk like people that don't understand anything and just complain about everything. That's the best way to describe it. And like I say so many times regarding the Musk stuff, because I know some people watch it. They say, Chris, why don't you just talk about all the fraud and waste that Musk is talking about? This is what I say. If Musk is serious about doing these things, he'll gather evidence, take it to court, take it to Congress, and testify, right? That's the proper way to do things. Do it under oath. By going on whatever podcast, making whatever regular, ridiculous claims, it carries no weight. And then when reporting comes out on you that, Musk is basically lying nonstop, they just get really, really angry and attack the press. So that's Musk's strategy. Is it's like when he's wrong, just call you names. And that's who this guy is. And on top of that, they want to make English the official language and try to, further, I'm trying to say it, like rewrite history of what it is. So for example, there are some people out there that think, America was always only English speaking and only one type of person ever lived in America, that kind of thing. There's some people who want to, have that sort of fake history. But I just tell you the truth, there's always been all kinds of languages in the USA. There's always been all different types of people in the USA. There's always been all types of religions in USA. USA has actually, was we could say it's a country, but I mean, as a continent and nations of people, there's been all sorts of diversity throughout history. But again, there's a certain group of people that only want to think, oh, there's only one language ever. And that's the kind of world they want to create. And Musk kind of feeds into that sort of it's like mythology kind of, fake history kind of stuff. And so that's why I just try to show you guys who they are. And when you start to see how, oh my God, this whole, Musk stuff is like a cult, built on a bunch of hype, built on a whole bunch of lies. And it's just frankly dangerous. When I first started covering the Musk stuff, it was mostly with Tesla. And I just thought we'd talk about cars and we call out the BS with his tech and stuff like that. But he keeps progressively getting more and more serious. And now he's literally threatening your livelihoods. And like every weekend, you're bombarded with, orders to comply with him or get fired kind of stuff. And so people need to know what's going on. And so that's what I do these videos with you every day. And I like to get your thoughts on this stuff as well. So hopefully this is helpful. Hope you can see exactly who these people are. And I catch you on the next video.